Welcome, everybody, to Questions to Make You Fold. I'm your host, Evan Alexander, and today I'm talking to the esteemed, the renowned, the man, the myth, the legend, Noah Dennis.
Oh my
Noah
goodness.
Dennis, a dear friend of mine here at Southwestern. And yeah, today, Noah, what we're gonna No, it's
okay. I love the introduction. That was beautiful.
Today,
Evan.
Noah, what we're gonna do is a little bit of origami.
Okay.
A couple of questions. For those of you that don't know, I'm a Mosaic Ambassador. This is a series we've got for Mosaic Monday interviews. So this probably gets posted on Monday. If not, doesn't really matter. Still a Mosaic interview. And so me and Noah are talking. We've got some questions. And the idea here is that we've also got some square pieces of paper today. And we'll post up some step-by-step so you can follow along if you want to. We'll talk through it a little bit. But we're going to be making an origami giraffe today. And as we work through these steps, and as we do more folds of this origami giraffe, we'll ask more questions. And as the folds get more complex, and we form more of a picture of a giraffe here, the questions get more complex, and we'll form more of a picture of Noah Dennis and what he does here at SU and some of his thoughts.
Evan, I need you to understand that every move we do here in origami will be complex for me. So I'm very excited. I think this is going to get deep pretty quickly.
It starts a little easy, but it very quickly picks up. I'll be honest. Last time I did one of these, I did try the origami beforehand.
Really?
I did not try the
cheating.
origami of this one. I'm going in blind right now.
Okay, that's how we need to do it. Is this for the pod, for the people?
This
we need to try
is
new.
honesty here. This is honesty.
Absolutely.
I'm just excited. So no, what we're going to start with is these first two steps here, these first folds,
Okay.
where you just fold across, make a nice big crease there.
Okay,
and
so
then
you want to have the paper position like a diamond.
A
right?
diamond, perfect.
Okay, gotcha.
Go ahead and make a fold. We're going to get some nice crispy paper sounds.
We love
everybody.
those.
Some
Can we get that
ASMR.
on the audio? Here, I'll fold it next to the mic here. Crisp. You hear that through the
crisp.
headphones,
I
Evan?
do, man.
Oh, yeah.
It's beautiful. And as you're making that fold down, after that, fold each of the corners in, as you can kind of see in that second
So
picture.
now you're going to unfold it back into the diamond.
And fold those corners in.
I gotcha.
Do you see kind of how, like, from the top, almost like a paper airplane, like
Okay.
a diagonal paper airplane. And as you're making those folds, Noah, I've got a simple question for you.
Okay.
Just so that people know.
Okay.
What are you involved here in at Southwestern? What do you do?
That's
What
a
year are
good
you?
one.
All that stuff.
I like this as a warm-up question. So, yeah, my name is Noah. I'm a junior here at Southwestern University. I'm a financial economics and communications double major going on. I run cross-country and track and field. Go Pirates. I absolutely love that. I'm the president of our Best Buddies chapter here. I also really love that it's going super well this semester. I'm a secretary of the Canterbury group here at Southwestern. And I think that's about it, Evan. And I hang out with Evan Alexander in my free time.
Yeah, as much as we can.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's awesome. So a lot of fun stuff there. And we'll dive a little more into at least some of those things that you do here.
Gotcha.
That's good. People
Wait,
get to listen.
I think I already messed up the origami.
Hey, you know what? You can always unfold and try
I
again.
think I might. Hold on. So you have on step 2, it's in the center, right? So
Yeah, you
you
fold-
fold from this corner, like up like this?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Oh, like that. Okay, I see.
Yeah, you got to do a big fold there.
Gotcha. I sold my fold short, Evan, but now I'm back. We're good.
Okay, it doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay if your giraffe is a little wonky. We will be posting a picture to the Instagram of whatever your final product
Oh, I
is,
can't wait.
regardless of what it looks like.
I love it. Okay.
Well, that's good to know. So we've got our basic folds, and we got a little bit of a basic idea of some of your stuff here.
Yes, sir.
Noah. So once you've got those folds made, gonna fold that paper in half
Gotcha.
and kind of rotate it around so that way it's sitting with this flattened down. And
Okay.
that step's pretty simple, but I got a question for you to think about as you're getting ready for the next step.
Okay.
So I've seen you posted some, and I've heard a good bit that your intramural team
Oh.
of track guys
Yes,
has
sir.
been out there tearing up the flag football game. Is that right?
Oh, that's absolutely accurate.
3-0, is that the
3-0.
case?
So actually, we had a team forfeit this week. So we are now
man.
4-0.
4-0.
Because they did not want that smoke. So Evan, as you know, I'm in season for cross country.
Mm-hmm.
So I have so many. I'm committed to my practice commitments there.
Mm-hmm.
So I got an invite to be the head coach for the track sprinter guys. And those are some of my best friends on campus.
Yeah,
and,
I was going to ask you a couple of questions about that. So, A, how has that group of track guys been influential to you at Southwestern? How has having that group been important and influential to you at your time here? And also, what elements of that group of guys in your teamwork do you think and your coaching makes you so great at football?
See,
knocking out all these. You guys beat Phi last week, right?
We did, and that's a great competition. It's the chemistry amongst our guys team on the track side is unbelievable. I mean, I live with there's Adrian Washington. He's one of my bestest friends. He's my roommate. And Jared and Chris they were the guys that really kind of invited me in to be the head coach of the flag football team. But I'm really getting the opportunity to meet a lot of our freshmen that I never would have until the spring till we start competing. So it's really a wonderful opportunity to kind of get to know some of my new teammates on the track, and then just play a fun flag football game together. It's a really I love doing all sorts of intramurals. I think it's a great way to bring together the SU community. That's one of my favorite parts about being at SU. And being coach and walking around in silly outfits and bringing my little whiteboard and stuff, it just gets everybody fired up. We have a good time.
Yeah, that's fun. Shout out to Sierra. If you haven't done any intramural sports here at Southwestern, try one out. There are a lot of fun ones you can do. You don't have to be good. You just gotta.
Oh, I'm terrible. I think that's why I'm coach, Evan, is because I can't catch a football. So they're like, hey, just stand on the sidelines and just you start yelling at us. I'm like, okay, I can do that.
That's in your realm of abilities.
For sure.
Yeah. Sign up for some serious sports. We got some good stuff coming up. I forget exactly what. I don't know. Anyway, so that's good to hear.
Yes, sir.
Good group of guys. Best of luck to y'all as you continue to play some games.
We have playoffs next week. We're very excited.
Next week, man. Oh man.
Oh yeah.
I know my roommate Jake. He did basketball Sierra stuff. And I know they won at SU, and then they went to go play against other teams. Is that
you
a
can
possibility
travel
for flag?
Yes. So if we do really well, we went out. Jared is our Sierra mastermind. He works for Sierra. He does all that stuff. But we would travel. I think the regional one's here in Round Rock. So
good stuff.
Yeah, our guys are really into it. We're gonna keep playing as long as they want to. We love it.
That's fun. Best of luck, man.
Oh yeah, thank you.
Bring us back some trophies.
That's right.
All right, Noah. I've got a big question for you.
Okay.
And I've also got a big fold for you.
I'm looking at this step. I'm kind of stressed out.
It's a little spooky.
I'm gonna let you guide me.
It's a little spooky. And again, I haven't done this before, so it's new to me as well. Okay. I think what we're gonna try. It's going to be a reverse fold. If you've ever done origami before, you know that's a tricky one. But what I want you to try first is just kind of have it flat with this long side along the bottom.
Okay.
And then
long side on the bottom. Okay.
No, sorry, wrong. Short side on the bottom. Short side on the bottom. Yeah.
Gotcha.
So have that right flat on the bottom, and go ahead and fold kind of a straight up line, like this. If you kind of watch what I'm doing here, you're gonna fold along the line. Again, if you're checking out the steps on our Instagram, you might be able to see where that dotted line is on step 5. We're kind of doing 2 steps per question here. But yeah, give a fold like that. And then that's going to help you make this reverse fold. The way this reverse fold is going to work, it's going to be real careful here. You're going to kind of push in along that fold. So that way you get this kind of head shape popped out along that fold. And you end up with something like this. Hopefully, it's not too tricky. I might have nailed it, maybe.
So you pop out this little extra portion here.
I think here, that might be something. Okay, so
I did just.
You made a crease.
Okay.
Let's unfold it to undo that crease, and now you're gonna try and push it back, kind of this way,
but then
along that crease.
Oh, I see.
So right along that crease, you're kind of pushing out. I think you're getting there.
I'm gonna crease both sides of it.
That's a good idea. Just getting that first crease in can really help give you a good guideline of where to fold, because these reverse folds can be tricky.
Oh, I think I got something.
You got something?
I think this
doesn't have to be perfect, doesn't have to be beautiful, but if you can fold it back that back way.
Like this?
Yeah, that's pretty good. If you want to clean up that head spot, that
does it need to be cleaned? I think so. I think you're right.
Just clean up that fold.
Yeah, I got you.
And now this next step is the exact same thing, but small, right? We're going to do it up here at the head.
Oh my gosh, really?
It's even tougher. Give it a couple folds each way.
Okay.
And try and do that same thing. Watch. If you take that little tip.
Yeah.
And do oh man, can I do it? Maybe I can't do it. No offense to you, Noah, but if I can't, I'm a little concerned about.
If you can't, there's no way I'm doing this thing.
You kind of push it back in there. You know what? This is going to be a little wonky head, but do whatever you can there.
No, I think I got this, Evan. You've inspired me, Evan.
The bigger the head, maybe the better. I made my head kind of small, and I'm not sure if that was the move.
Oh, you see mine?
Oh, you know what? That looks pretty
It's
giraffe
kind of
right
cute.
there.
If I saw this in the wild, I would guess it's a giraffe.
Yeah, that's true. And we're not even done. We're not even done.
We're on step.
That's great for now.
5.
But I just wanted to give us be very attentive on those folding steps because those are tough. Those are
Okay,
tough
for
folds.
sure. Yes,
And you
sir.
made it. You made it through.
We made it out.
Not flawlessly, but pretty dang well.
As best we could.
So now I've got a question for you before
Yes,
we
sir.
move on to doing the next steps.
I got you.
So you took a leave of absence right after your first year
I
at
did.
Southwestern. So going into your sophomore year, you took that spring off
Yeah.
or fall off. Sorry, you
Yeah.
took that fall off. And you worked for a running shoe startup.
I
company,
did.
which
Yes,
is
sir.
a
A trade
really
running
interesting
company.
path. A
Yes,
trade
sir.
running company. You can plug them.
Always.
No
We'd
problem.
always show love. Yes, sir.
And it seemed to be something you enjoyed a lot
Uh-huh.
and were able to gain a lot from, particularly
Yeah.
as like a financial economics major, working in a startup, a small company. There's a lot to gain and learn there.
Absolutely.
So if you're comfortable kind of sharing
For sure.
whatever level of personalness here,
Yeah.
what led you to take that break?
Yeah.
And then also, what do you think would lead, like when do you think that's a choice that a college student should consider, right? What factors might drive a college student to be like, should I take a break right here in the middle of
Yeah.
my kind of experience?
I think
right?
that's a great question. It's a really important question that's unique to everybody. And this is something that I never considered pre-COVID. I love the SU experience. I really enjoyed my freshman year. And, I think COVID made us grow up in a lot of different ways. So particularly, let's start with the trade running company, which I absolutely love it. I love those guys. So it's funny, in high school, I used to sell running shoes at this little local mom and pop shop. And one of my buddies, who was working there, said, "Hey, I'm going to start a running shoe company." And everyone thought he was crazy, but I love him to death. And I was like, I think he could do it. And this guy, he's probably five-ish years older than me. He ended up pulling it off, and he was just always a friend that I kept in touch with my freshman year. But then going into the summer of 2020, he reached out and just said if I wanted to come help him out, he could use it. And I had it set up with SU as a unpaid academic internship. I earned a bunch of credit I was at the time a business major. Mm-hmm. But then things actually kind of took off and we started selling some shoes, and he invited me on to work full time, and they really needed me. And it was such an unbelievable opportunity because there were only 3 of us at the time.
Yeah.
So I started as just an intern kind of doing whatever, social media, just kind of basic level stuff. But I ended up being the full-time product manager for them, which is just nuts. And that was just such an unbelievable experience. So I had this opportunity, and then that combined just with a lot of uncertainty about a COVID semester and something I really, there was a lot of stress at home of making sure I wasn't bringing this disease back home. I was very cautious, and I looking at all my options, I decided that taking a break from school and pursuing this opportunity would be the best thing for me, my future career aspirations, and just for the best for my personal health and the health of my family. So yeah, kind of going back to the second part of your question of kind of how does a college student kind of make a decision like that? I don't think in life there's ever right or wrong decisions. They're only decisions, and then those compound to kind of make you who you are. So life, it's crazy, and you just kind of have to take it one day at a time. And that was just something that I felt was best for me during that time. And, you learn a whole lot from it, and you grow. And, yeah, I encourage everyone to not, what's the best way to say this? Don't be afraid to take an unorthodox path to lead you to where you want to go. It's, you just got to do what you feel is right in that moment.
Yeah. It's not right for everybody, but it's wrong to not consider it.
Absolutely.
Right? It's wrong to leave some options completely off the table.
Yeah, for sure.
You got to think about if those things are going to be right for you at the time.
Yeah.
Man, I'm really glad I had you on the pod today, Noah.
Oh,
You're
dude,
so
I
eloquent.
love it. Oh, thank you, Evan. I gotta, you're setting the tone, man. I gotta keep up.
Okay, we've got, I hate to tell you, one more tiny reverse fold. This one's not so bad.
On the same head?
Just take a little bitty, this is going to be
Oh
different.
my
Just
gosh.
tuck in the nose a little bit, right? Tuck in the
Okay.
nose a little bit so that way you kind of square off that head.
Gotcha. So is there a direction in particular that you
Just
crease?
tuck it like inside, right? if you kind of open up that head a little bit, if you're able to, kind of push it in.
I see. Yeah.
Yeah, kind of in that inner flap and just push it in.
Oh, okay. I like
So
it.
it kind of rounds off your face a little bit.
This is quite the detailed architecture.
Yeah, this is a lot tougher than the fox I made a couple weeks ago with Colleen.
I love it.
And with that step, the other one is going to be this crimp fold, which is kind of similar.
What did you call it?
A crimp
A
fold.
crimp fold? Okay.
Could
Did you make that up or is
No,
that...
that's what the origami community calls it.
Okay.
So you can kind of see what I'm doing is I'm gonna pinch it here, Noah, and I'm gonna push it in and kind of like pull it out so that way I have this little tail thing
Can
sticking
you do
out.
that for me one more time?
Yeah, sure. So I've got this thing here.
Yep.
I'm gonna pinch and kind of like push down
Okay.
to make a fold in,
Okay.
and then I'll pull back up with a little piece. It doesn't really matter exactly how big it is. Just try and get a little piece sticking out to look a little more tail-like.
Okay.
Yeah. If you want to put it in an angle or something like that, do whatever you want to do. Just like try and get a little extra piece sticking out.
Okay.
Again, it doesn't have to be beautiful, right?
Yeah.
Giraffes don't all look exactly the same.
That's
and this
very
one's
true,
going to look a
man.
little funky, but
Yeah.
you got something going on. Oh, you got something. It's got
like
a little
that?
tail sticking out.
A little bit. It's
It
a little
looks-
thick. I
yeah.
love it.
Man, it's a learning process. It's a
For
learning
sure.
process. Well, let's say that. It's a
Okay.
learning process. Beautiful. So now I've got a big question for you.
Okay,
This
I'm ready.
one, right, as I said, the questions are getting more complex here.
Yeah.
So what we haven't touched on yet is one of the big reasons that me and Noah get along so well is our taste in music is practically the Venn
I knew it was
diagram
coming.
of
I
the
love
music
it.
I love and the music Noah loves. It's nearly a circle.
Our daily mixes are the exact same. and
They've
I
got to
love
be
it.
the same.
I love it.
Got to be the same. But I remember there was a year back when I was a sophomore and Noah was a first year. We just started talking about music one day at the Commons, and we were there for an easy hour and a half, 2 hours. We
At
stayed
least.
until it closed, chatting. The next day we went to see a Daniel Caesar concert
Oh my
together. It
that
was
was
a time.
wild. That was so much fun.
It was a blast. But all that being said, I've got a music question for you, Noah.
I'm ready for it.
And it's a tougher.
Okay.
It's a tough one. It's a
Okay.
toughie. So, over the past half a century, young people have had a genre or different genres that represent youth, rebellion, independence, right? Kind of the young kid music that adults will be like, what is this music? In the 50s, that was like rock and roll. Elvis was hated on by adults but loved by teens, right?
Absolutely.
Punk rock emerged in the mid 70s. You get to grunge and things like that in the 90s. And although the genre has existed for decades, hip hop has only like recently truly become the dominant genre, particularly for young people.
Yes.
And that's really defined our culture and our generation. Why do you think hip hop resonates so strongly for people our age? And what similarities and differences do you see between hip hop and the music of 30, 40 years ago, right? Because hip hop is a pretty big shift. It's not some subgenre of rock and roll. It's a whole entirely different kind of element of kind of the punk rock kind of stuff that we've had in the past. So again, just to reiterate, why do you think hip hop is so resonant with us as young people? And what similarities do you see in the way that young people relate to it and maybe even sonically between hip hop and that kind of rock, emo music even in the early 2000s.
I think
that
that's a
used to be
beautiful
that.
question. I love it. I think to answer the first part of your question, I think hip hop has always been the most accessible genre of music, particularly in the era of technology which we've grown up. I think we can point to our guy Soulja Boy, which we've talked about before, of how he was a 17-year-old kid who made the biggest rap song in America on his freaking laptop. Like, I think that's the ability to make music as like the ability. Let me rephrase that. The ability to distribute music has never been easier. So I think when people hear sounds that they understand, that their friends make, that they grew up with, I think that resonates with them a lot. So I think that's why hip hop, in a way, has been such a crucial part of our generation in particular. And I think, kind of answering the second part of your question of why it's hip hop now, like what is comparing it to the most popular genres for the youth and of previous generations, I think it's always been about the genre that offers the most self-expression. I think if you look at Elvis, if you look at all the different kind of the phases that you mentioned of wanting to feel that rebellion, I think a lot of that rebellion is rooted in the what's it called? It's like the confidence that the artist has that you just love, that like that's your guy. you look at kind of what's popular now, like my guy Lil Nas X, we talk about all the time.
Sure.
He literally doesn't miss. He has like 6 songs and they're all just mega hits. But it's like people love that guy because of how honest and how beautiful his music is, of course. But it's just the way he's just attacking the stereotype that the industry wants him to be. It's really exciting. It's just like that kind of stuff right there of pushing the boundary of what you're supposed to think in music, I think is what resonates with people.
Yeah, I would totally agree. I think with Lil Nas in particular, like you hear a lot, you see people say a lot, like, man, I forget he's famous, or like he acts like he isn't famous.
Yeah.
And that's part of the reason he's
his
so
Twitter's
famous.
hilarious. He's our
just
age.
a dude.
I think he's 19. It's something. He's a little younger than us.
He's our age is right around it for sure.
It's wild,
crazy.
And it's just him just going at the Nikes and like the whole Catholic Church and like all this stuff that everyone, like all these structures in place are so angry at him for just being a kid. Like it's nuts. I love the guy.
Yeah, it's a blast.
Yeah.
I think that distribution is just so huge for us, right?
Yeah.
Like, you can just make music on SoundCloud.
You
can just have half a dozen friends who all have a band or who all release music.
Because it sounds like us. When growing up, like I was a big SoundCloud guy, of course, on my iPod Touch. And the first album I remember loving of rap was, this hasn't aged the best, but Chance the Rapper's 10-Day project. I remember having that on my iPod Touch, and it was just like, that is a guy that sounded like he was a kid, and he was able to reflect his struggles on like music that sounded really good, and you're like, oh, that's my guy. That's what rap is. That's the whole point of rap, is just to offer a platform to somebody that wouldn't necessarily have one, that has really interesting and relatable stories to share.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Well, I've got one more step for us here,
right,
and one more kind of ending question that I'm going to ask every week. So the first step is just cut out a little space, so that way you give your giraffe some legs. Right. Right now he's kind of just got this big block. On the ground. So
is this cheating in origami if you use
scissors?
Not
cutting. That's
cutting?
fine. Not in our origami.
Okay, dude.
Give it a little slice. Oh man.
I'm gonna hang this on my mini fridge, man.
Good stuff.
I'm very
We'll
excited.
snap a pic afterwards so everybody can take a look at this guy. But
and don't say whose is who. I want them to guess.
No,
I'm just kidding. They definitely would know.
I'm only posting yours, buddy.
Oh my gosh. Okay.
We're just gonna expose you like that.
How tall should the legs be?
However tall you make them, man. This is your artistic vision you're making here. I'm giving him a little eye. And I've got a question for you, though.
Okay.
And that is kind of, we're coming back down to a more standard question. But what advice would you give your first or second year self? Right? Not something like, switch to be a financial economics major earlier. Right? Something a little deeper than that, a little more than that. And can I have one of those?
Oh, I'm using all of these.
Either an orange or a brown.
Take this.
Your choice.
Take this.
Whatever.
I'm going to do the orange one here.
Yeah.
What advice should I give my first or second year self? This is kind of basic, but try new things. I think college is the time for you to experiment with all different areas of your life and trying different clubs and meeting new people. And I'm really big about putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, or like obviously like safe and reasonable situations, but you grow the most whenever you aren't comfortable. So reaching out, talking to different people, people that you had no idea who they were, at comms, and ended up going to a Daniel Caesar concert with them the next day. Like that's the stuff you're gonna remember about college, is meeting those people and having those connections. And yeah, I think as long as you're pushing yourself every day to try new things, you're gonna end up in the right place.
Absolutely.
Do you like that, Evan?
Beautiful words. That was amazing.
No,
I'm telling you, you just got the stellar answers that you just keep bringing.
Hey, dude, I'm having a good time, man. I'm just killing it with this giraffe.
Doing a great giraffe over there. His head looks amazing.
His head's kind of faced backwards. I don't know how that ended up that way.
I gave you a tough origami piece
here.
Goodness, I might have to. I tried to find an easy giraffe, and there just weren't many. Giraffes are real.
I really was pushing you with the favorite.
I mean, you didn't know what I was asking for. That's
I feel like most people would be like a dog or like
and a dog works, but like
simple.
Giraffe.
I wanted to push you, Evan. I wanted to give you the hard stuff.
All right. That's all I have in terms of question.
Oh my goodness.
That's
I love it.
about all I've got in terms of that. I do have a quick couple of last things.
Yeah, what's up?
One
dude?
is, do you have a joke for us today, Noah?
Oh my
It doesn't have to be a great one. Just a joke.
Oh my goodness.
A joke that's true to you, that you love for years, or maybe a new one that you heard recently that's been cracking you up.
So it's really not funny at all, but I find hilarious is on our cross country team, we're really big into like anti-humor.
Sure,
right?
of course.
So
Anti-jokes.
So there's
Great.
like jokes that would just remove the punchline,
Yeah,
right?
and they're
so
great.
it's like, the joke, hey, what's up with that airline food? It's funny because it's on a plane and it's not very good, right?
Sure.
But I'll be running at 5:30 in the morning with one of our freshmen, Brian, who I just adore. I tell him, I'm like, hey, so what's the deal with airline food?
There we go.
And
Works every
we
time.
just die laughing because we're still talking about how the food's bad. I just removed the whole punchline.
Yeah.
So I don't know if our audience will find that funny, but I love all that stuff.
I love it. What is the deal with it?
Hey, what's the deal with it?
If we've got a Jerry Seinfeld listening, I think that's a
I'd
classic
love to
Seinfeld
talk with
move.
Jerry. I think we need to get him on as your next guest.
We'll see what I don't think he went to SU, but I think he'd be an interesting guy to talk to
Yeah,
nonetheless.
I'm sure he's a Mosaic Ambassador at heart.
At heart, honestly.
I love what y'all are doing with Mosaic, by the way. It's such a crucial need, and all of your events are so much fun, and y'all are just doing great things.
We're
Just wanna tell you
100%
that.
putting that in the podcast. That's
Oh, you
beautiful.
have to. Oh
We
my
got-
goodness. Oh my goodness.
I asked Noah in kind of the preliminary questions to tell me what Mosaic is, and it was just such a beautiful answer, and I told it to Lisa Dela Cruz, the director of Mosaic, and she was like, send that to me. That's good
Really?
stuff. Yeah.
That's
So that's
super
probably getting
sweet.
posted around.
Well, I mean it, man. It's such a huge need, and I think that's really how you appreciate a Southwestern education is combining everything that you learn through all of your experience in and outside the classroom. That's what college is all about.
For sure. All right, Noah. It's been great having you. Real quick, do you want to plug some stuff, right? Some clubs,
Oh my
some
goodness.
things like that?
Best buddies always
For
have.
sure.
We have our next meeting, I believe, on the 14th. It's next Wednesday. So
Do you want to give people a rundown on what Best Buddies
Best
is?
Buddies. Oh yeah, so I'm the president of that. It's wonderful. So it's basically it's a student led organization where we work with adults in our community with disabilities, and they just come on out to our campus, and we just have a really great time. It's a safe and inclusive space. That to build friendships with people that you wouldn't necessarily get to meet. And it's wonderful. It's a great way to make an impact in our community here at Southwestern. So
Absolutely.
I love it. And y'all should all definitely check it out.
Yeah, y'all are doing great stuff over there.
Thank
Awesome.
you, Evan.
Sweet. It was a blast talking to you.
Oh, Evan, we do this all the time, like off mic. But anytime you need me on this thing, man, I
I'm
love you,
excited.
Evan. You're
I'm
my guy.
excited. You too, Noah. I'm really excited. Yeah, it's been a great day.
Yep.
Great little 20-something minutes here. Excited to get this episode out. But thanks, everybody. Tune in next week. Catch us on Instagram. Follow the Mosaic Ambassador Instagram. We're releasing these every week, so listen to the next one, too. Shout out to SU Radio, because this is getting posted on there, too. But, yeah.
Shout out radio. Shout out Pirates.
Shout out Pirates.
Go Pirates.
Go Pirates. Go Bucks.
Go Bucks.
All right. See you around. Bye.